Hello, Ms. Buchanan's Algebra 1A class. We're doing finding slope from 2 points. We're using this formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That over just means, leave it as a fraction so you can get rise over run, because remember your slope is signified by the letter M. Y, I don't know, is rise over run. Just the mathematicians, came up with M years ago. But anyways, so that rise over run, that rise is your second y value minus your first y value divided by, or the run is going to be your second x value minus your first x value. Okay, so this is March 11th. Let's take a look at the odd ones here. What I do every time is I mark this is my xy, right? So this is my first xy and my second x and y. So I mark those so that I know what to put where. So I have negative 15 minus a negative 16. Minus a negative makes it positive. So you got to watch those. And I know in class I saw many of you put minus negative, and that's fine, because if you put it in your calculator that way, you'll get the same answer, okay, as negative 15 plus 16, because it will change it to a plus for you. Okay, and then I have negative 7 minus at 19, okay? So, because remember the formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus your x1. What I get is a 1 over a negative 26, and I just put that negative in front of the whole fraction. It's actually a negative slope. So it goes down 1 over 26. So that's a really weird looking slope. But number 3, once again, x1, y1, x2, y2. And then I just plug those in, my y2 minus my y1. And my x2 minus my x1 minus a negative, changes it to positive. I get negative 11 over negative 2. Two negatives, a negative divided by a negative, or a negative over a negative, changes it to positive, so it's just 11 over 2. x1, y1, x2, y2. I take my y2 minus my y1 minus a negative, changes it to positive. And then my x2, which is going to be 17 minus my x1, which is 17. 17 minus 17 is 0. I get 21, 8 plus 13, 21 over 0. Anything over 0 is called undefined. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at it. If we're to graph these points, so here's my big old graph, okay? So this is my y, and this is my x coordinate, right? So I go clear out here to 17, and here is 17.8, 0.178. Way down here is 13, 0.1713, right? So if I were to, connect these two, that's a vertical line. That is not a slope. It's straight up and down. So it's a vertical line, undefined, means vertical. So whenever your 0 is in the denominator, it's going to be called undefined. If your 0 is on top, that means your x's are the same. So the two x's are going to, the two y's are the same. Because the y's are on top. If your 0 is on top, the two y's are going to be 0. So that means it's going to be a flat line or horizontal line, and that would be, let's see if there's any examples on the front page. There is not, where the y's are. Oh yeah, it's the next one right here, number 6. When you do number 6, notice that these are the same. So you're going to have 3 minus 3, so you're going to have a 0 on the top. Your y is going to be 0. And that's going to be no slope. It's going to be a horizontal line. Okay? All right. Sounds good. Okay, here we go. And that's going to be a horizontal where y is equal to 3. So it's going to be down here. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3 if you were to graph it, and it would be a horizontal line like that. Those 2 points would be on, these 2 points would be on that line. Okay, so just a little extra for number 6, a little extra help there for you. So number 7, I mark my x1s, my x and y1s, my x and y2s. I take negative 15 minus 0 and a negative 11 minus a 3. I get negative 15 over negative 14. A negative over a negative makes a positive. 15 over 14 is my slope. Hopefully you're pausing this, understanding this, rewinding it, whatever you need to do. Here I wrote the formula on the back again so I could remember the formula for slope. And once again, I mark my x and y one. Sorry, that one's so ugly. x2 and y2. My y looked too much like an x, so I had to write over it. It looked sloppy. So I took 15 minus a 10, made it plus 10. Negative 15 minus 6, and I get 25 over 20, negative 21. I just rewrote it with a negative way out front in front of the whole thing, because if the numerator or the denominator is negative, the whole fraction is negative. So negative 25 over 21. This one I'm going to take my 8 minus a negative 20, makes it a positive, makes it a plus 20. And I'm going to take 5 minus 3. So I get 28 over 2. This one, I could actually, simplify. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So it's a slope of 14. So if I was graphing it, I'd, go up 14 over 1. That would be a really steep one. Steep slope. Okay, I mark my x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm going to take 1 minus 12, and negative 9 minus a negative 19 makes it plus 19. So I end up with negative 11 over 10. And last but not least, 15. Mark my x and y1, my x and y2s. I'm going to take negative 3 minus a negative 12, which makes a positive, and then 15 minus 6. So I get 9 over 9. 9 over 9, any number over itself equals just 1. That's a slope of 1. So let's go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. You guys remember drawing slopes. So good luck on the even ones. Try them. Make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Correct them, and you're learning.